Will Netanyahu succumb to American pressure? Will Iran's ultimatum force him to submit? Will he have to give in? Will he bow down to the dual pressures of an Iranian ultimatum and American demands? Or will he play a risky gamble with the fate of an entire region? You see, Israel's agreement to a Gaza ceasefire could be the last barrier holding back a catastrophic escalation. The assassination of the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh on Iranian soil last month has triggered a sequence of dangerous incidents. The region is now one spark away from a catastrophic wider war. Iran, seething with rage and swearing vengeance, has issued a chilling message. Only a ceasefire in Gaza might prevent them from unleashing a devastating retaliation. President Joe Biden shares this dread, urging that a Gaza ceasefire is crucial to avert an Iranian strike against Israel. But the question is Benjamin Netanyahu listening? Or is this the deceptive calm before a storm that could tear through West Asia? You see, Iran's warning is not just rhetoric. Iran's threats carry the weight of being capable of rallying proxies from Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Iraq at a moment's notice. Reports suggest that Hezbollah's drones could strike Haifa in just 15 minutes and reach Tel Aviv in under 40. Simultaneously, Iran's allies in Syria and Iraq could target US forces, forcing America to split its focus between defending its own and shielding Israel. Iran's strategy is not just about brute force, it's about learning and adapting. According to a report from Reuters, Tehran and its allies are prepared to strike Israel directly if Gaza talks collapse or Israel appears to be stalling. Let's just take a step back here and look at what's really at stake. The assassination of Haniyeh, which occurred while he was visiting Tehran, has not been confirmed or denied by Israel, but the implications are clear. Let's just grasp the gravity of the situation. The US Navy's deployment of warships and a submarine to the region is a clear sign that Washington is bracing for the worst. With both Haniyeh and Hezbollah commander Fawad Shukr now dead, the specter of a regional conflict looms large. Iran, deep in talks with Western nations, including the US, may be playing a deadly game, carefully calibrating its next move. In fact, in recent days, Washington has scrambled to diffuse the tensions, urging its allies to convince Iran to hold its fire. US President Biden, during a visit to New Orleans, made it clear that a ceasefire might be the only thing standing between Israel and an all-out Iranian assault.
We'll see what Iran does, and we'll see what happens if there's any attack. But I'm not giving up.
Those two things tied together. Do you have the understanding that Iran could cease or stop doing an action if a ceasefire deal was possible?
That's my expectation, but we'll see. Thank you.
The stakes of the Gaza ceasefire talks, whether in Egypt or Qatar, have never been higher. The outcome will determine not just the fate of Israel and Palestine, but the future of an entire region, teetering on the edge of a wider war. Yet the situation remains volatile, with Hamas casting doubts on the possibility of any real progress. Israel, on the other hand, is bracing for the absolute worst. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has vowed severe punishment for the strike in Tehran, while the Israel Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, has made it clear that Israel is watching Beirut and Tehran very closely.
הישג המבצעי, ומצד שני We are in days of vigilance and preparedness. The threats from Tehran as well as Beirut may come to fruition. And it is important to explain to everyone that readiness, preparation and alertness are not synonymous for fear and panic.
Israel's options are clear, but the choice is not. Will Netanyahu compromise and seek peace through a ceasefire? Or will he push the region closer to the brink of an unprecedented war? Iran's policy remains staunchly anti-Israel. The new Iranian president, in fact, has doubled down on this stance, reaffirming support for resistance movements and a commitment to retaliation. However, there might be a glimmer of hope here. Reports suggest Iran is contemplating sending a representative to the ceasefire talks, a sign that diplomacy might still have a chance. But with tensions this high, can even the slimmest hope for peace actually prevail? As per reports, Iran's representative will not go directly to participate, but to maintain diplomatic communication with the United States. And this could be a sign that Iran is still open to a peaceful resolution. But then how long will this window of opportunity actually remain open is anybody's guess. You see, Iran has not publicly indicated what its response to Khamenei's assassination will be. On April 13, just 2 weeks after 2 Iranian generals were killed in a strike on Tehran's embassy in Syria, Iran launched a barrage of hundreds of drones and missiles towards Israel. While most of these were intercepted, the attack demonstrated Iran's capability and also willingness to retaliate. As per reports, if a ceasefire is not reached, Iran's response is likely to be even more severe and not just symbolic. Whether Netanyahu will make the decision to agree to a ceasefire or whether he will continue to play this dangerous game of gambling is again anybody's guess. The stakes could not be higher. A ceasefire would not only prevent further bloodshed in Gaza, but could also avert a broader regional conflict that could spiral out of control. But time is running out, and the decisions made in the coming days may just determine the future of West Asia for years to come. And the tensions between Iran and Israel are not the only thing keeping the region on the brink. In fact, the volatile West Asia region might be witnessing another broad yet quiet war. In the latest, as per reports, a missile attack targeted a U.S. air base in the Conoco gas field in Syria's Deir al-Zor province. U.S. officials have stated that the projectiles did not strike the facility. The attack, allegedly carried out by Iran-backed militias, involved 6 shells landing near the base, prompting the U.S.-led coalition to respond with artillery fire. U.S. warplanes were also observed flying over the area in the aftermath. The targeting of multiple U.S. air bases in recent weeks points to signs of a quieter war brewing in the region. Note that this incident is the latest in a series of escalating attacks on U.S. forces in the region. Just last week, a drone strike at the Rumaleen landing zone in Syria resulted in minor injuries to several U.S. and coalition personnel. According to the Pentagon, 8 U.S. troops were injured in that incident. Earlier in the month, another attack at the Al-Assad air base in Iraq left 4 U.S. troops and a defense contractor injured. America's firm backing of Israel in West Asia and the increasing frequency of these attacks suggesting that tensions in the region may be intensifying, raising concerns about a potentially brewing conflict involving Iran-backed militias and U.S. forces in West Asia. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.